Welcome back, everyone. We're here today with a brand new Friday review. A great way, I think, to end the week, be able to recap what's been going on over these past 5 to 7 days or so. Also go over what's going on in the private practice, things that I believe that would be beneficial to you. We'll go over a recap for the week, see if you missed any of this week's shows. I've got a book review for the week that we'll be going over. I would love to be able to go over a brand new product review, something that I've known about for a while, but just I didn't get into as much. And that's because to be honest, I didn't know it at a deep enough level. Now I do, and it's something that I really want to recommend to you. I'm going to be doing it myself, and I'm going to be getting it for my parents as well. And then 2 to 3 research studies, just depending on the time we have for today. So a lot to get into. Without further ado, let's dive in. So we just finished up our detox over the past week. Yeah, just ending basically Monday morning through Sunday night. And it is something that, again, I cannot recommend enough. I can't tell you the number of first-time people, especially, that do it, didn't think they could make it through the first 3 days. By the time they got to day 5, they said, it's unbelievable. I am now going to make this a part of my seasonal-based routine. It's one of the favorite things, like my favorite things in private practice. And the reason is, when I started my practice many, many years ago, it was about 2 years into practice that I found out about this thing called functional medicine, liver detoxification. And I used it with the hardest to, can't say the word treat, so work with clients in my practice. And the results were tremendous. They were absolutely tremendous after 21 days. So if you've never tried it before, try it for 21 days. Your first one, 21 days. We'll provide the support for you for free at cabralsupportgroup.com. So never forget, we are there with you. We really are. It does not cost more than the cost of food. It really does not. And it's guaranteed. If you don't like it after 21 days, honestly, you'll get a full refund. That's how I feel about it. It's just completely guaranteed. There's no risk. I'm not even trying to sell it to you. You're going to get either phenomenal results or you just won't do it. Like, that's the thing. You'll just return it and get your money back. And the reason is that I know it's life-changing. I absolutely know that for most people, it's the first place to get started. It really is. So you can find out more about that. Again, if it's the right fit or not, it's totally up to you. But you can find out if it's the right fit for you. Just go to stephencabral.com/detox. I can't recommend it enough. And it is the best first place to start. In an ideal world, this is what we do in our practice. People run the big 5. Once they send in those lab tests, they begin their 21-day detox. They meet with their coach. Then after they're finishing their 21 detox, they get their personalized results and plan. So I don't think that there's a better way to do integrative health and functional medicine than that. I really don't. I don't. If there was a better way, we would be doing it. You basically run your labs. You open the detox pathways. You're dramatically improving hormones and inflammation and glucose and so much more. And then you get your own personalized plan to transition it to. This is the future. This is the future of true healthcare. It really is. Not sick care, but true healthcare for people who want to revolutionize their health. There's just no doubt about it. So also want to share with you, coming Monday, I believe, we're starting a brand new 12-week year, actually this week. So if you've never heard about the 12-week year, I would love for you to tune in on this coming Monday's show or, of course, previous 12-week years. But if you didn't take advantage of the first 12 weeks of the year, all right, let's get back on track. Or let's get on track in the first place, right? Let's start to make this our best year yet. Every year should be your best year yet. It honestly should, because you get to learn from your previous 12 months and however old you are, all of those previous months as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. And I'm excited because this month, April, many of you know that I moved just about a year and a half ago or so now. And we're just, for the first time, kind of finally settling in. It feels that way, that we're kind of settling in, but, it's always different, month to month and all that. But we've got a lot of family coming down for the first time to visit. So we've got Easter that we're celebrating this weekend. And then, of course, we have family coming in. So over the next few weeks, it should be fun for my daughters to get to see some of their cousins and family, and that'll be great. And then before you know it, it'll be summertime. We'll be back to Maine, one of our favorite spots, and that'll be great as well. So just try to enjoy this time of the year. It is the springtime. And it is one of those times for renewal. It honestly is. And that's why I look forward to kind of saying, all right, what can we make of this next season? And it's a great place to be with that mindset. All right, what's going on over at EquiLife? Well, I'm glad you asked. This week, we are giving away 3 of our sample bars. And so this is not planned. If you're watching this on video, I have 2 of them on my desk right now. I should have all 3, but I don't. because these just came back with me. I always bring a bunch of bars on my trips. I just got back from LA. I'll definitely be sharing more about that as well soon. The Sunny Day Delight. I've got the chocolate brownie indulgence, and there is also the apple cinnamon crisp bar as well. These are whole food bars. They have very few ingredients. They're non-GMO. They're allergy friendly, which means they're free of all of the top allergens, so typically school safe for most schools. They're vegan, they're gluten-free, they're nut-free, they're soy-free, they're egg-free, and they're dairy-free. And literally, you are just getting the cleanest ingredients around. Dates and sunflower seeds and maple syrup, Sacha Inchi protein powder, cacao butter, chia seeds, and Himalayan pink salt. So that's what's in the brownie, chocolate brownie. They're all similar ingredients, but obviously a little bit different based on the actual bar flavor. So check them out right now. We send you a free sample pack on all qualifying orders. This is US and international as well. You can head on over to stephencabral.com/shop to take advantage of this offer and free shipping all this weekend. All right, podcast recap for the week. How to overcome the 6 ghosts of fear. Check that out. That was a follow-up by a Napoleon Hill show, so definitely check that out. Can eating grilled or charred foods cause cancer? The Chinese Medical Nutrition Therapy, CMNT, explained. We've been talking a little bit about that and its amazing results with reversing type 2 diabetes and keeping it in remission. And then yesterday's show was forever chemicals, finally recognized as a real problem. What are forever chemicals? We talked about that on yesterday's show. All these shows can be found at stephencabral.com/podcasts. All right, let's get into our product review of the week. This one is from, I just listened to James speak last week, and so I knew I had to bring this to you. Dr. James K. Min is the CEO and founder of the Cleerly Heart Analysis. It's not just a heart scan, it is an analysis. So I've heard about this for some time now, and it's just gotten so much better. And I wanted to share this. James was great speaking. This was a science-based convention, so maybe a little dry for the general public, but I certainly appreciate it, and that was for sure. And I thought James is brilliant in his delivery and all of his slides, because he actually shares with you how. Let's give you the quote. Every 1.7 seconds, a person dies from cardiovascular disease. Over 50% of individuals who die or suffer from a heart attack experience no symptoms before the event. What if they had known their individual risk ahead of time? So this is a great topic to bring up. And the reason is this. 50% of the people never have a symptom before they have a deadly heart attack. The second one is that 50% of people who have a heart attack have high cholesterol and 50% don't have high cholesterol. So when we look at this, we know it's not just cholesterol alone. What James has done, so he's a radiologist and a medical doctor and researcher, he actually developed a way to scan the heart, to look at the heart 3-dimensionally. And so he can look at the arteries in the heart and actually see if it's essentially what's called pre-plaque. So believe it or not, before the plaque enters into where it's discernible inside the artery, you can actually see it starting to form. So then there is a form of plaque. It's outlined in blue. That's just basically the different highlights on his 3-dimensional image, as I'm recalling it right now. That is not a deadly form of plaque. It is not going to break off. Now, can it harden the arteries to a certain degree? Sure. Yeah, without a doubt. But it's not going to cause the blockages, and it's not going to cause the breakoffs that might cause an aneurysm or something else. So really, it's an important test. It's an impressive test. I'm going to be bringing more and more longevity-based diagnostic treatments to you over the next month or so. I already brought you the cancer blood work test. I'm bringing you now the Cleerly heart scan, and then I'll be bringing to you a specific way that you can scan for cancer in the body that is literally like science fiction. It's unbelievable now. So these are all things that I'm going to personally be doing myself, and then I'll let you know, of course, my results and how they went. So am I a little young to be doing these things? Maybe. But at the same time, they're not going to hurt. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you always catch things before they become an issue. because they can always be dealt with in the early stages. So I'm going to be sharing these with you. Certainly want to share this with my parents as well, and definitely recommend it for anyone minimum age 50 and above. You can certainly do it if you're younger than 50 as well. All right, so I'm going to link that up. It's cleerlyhealth.com. I have no affiliation with them, but these are great tests that I'm certainly going to be recommending as well. All right, that's the Cleerly Health Analysis and simple scan of the heart. You get back all of the results and what to do if there's any specific blockages, etc. All right, the next one is a book review for the day. The book review, I didn't get to meet the author. This was a very large convention that I was at, but he was one of the attendees. The attendees, by the way, were like, these are people that would be speaking on stages and have spoken on stages at many different conferences. So it was a great event. Really enjoyed it. Those of you who were following me or follow me on Instagram saw me posting every single day, all the different longevity-based lunges we had and all the different treatment protocols, etc. So this one's called Replace Retirement. So the book's called Replace Retirement, Living Your Legacy in an Exponential Age by John D. Anderson. So I am not someone who's close to retirement. I don't know that I will ever be someone who retires. It is very unlikely that I ever retire. But John actually talks about that in this book. So you might say, well, why would you read the book then? Here's the thing. I don't read research and books just for me. What I try to do is I read them for our community. And out of the 3 or 4 or so books that I read on a weekly basis, if it's a book that I don't love, that I'm reading through it, all right, I put it down, I put it aside. I was like, okay, this is not going to be one. But the books that I read, I try to share with you ones that I think are going to be well-rounded. So we're not always recommending the same books over and over. But this is one that I think a lot of people, again, moving into their 50s and beyond, a lot of people in their 50s listen to this podcast, 60s and 70s, and you're thinking about retirement. What's it going to look like? Are you just going to kind of stop everything? And so I read this book, again, someone who's not close to retirement, nor do they think they'll ever retire. And it's good for those people as well, because it starts to get you thinking, like, if you can find a life that, I talked about it in my Sunday Rewind email, that you don't want to take a vacation from, that you don't want to retire from, then you're living your ultimate life. And that's what a lot of this book goes into. So instead of waiting until you do retire, if you can be in your 30s or 40s or whatever age and start to plan a life that you don't need to retire from, like a life that I'm living right now, it's one of the best feelings in the world, and I try to share that with other people. And I haven't done a podcast on it yet, but again, hopefully you're reading my newsletter on Sundays, my Sunday Rewind. I shared with people, I took an amazing vacation to the Bahamas with my family, my daughters. And it was relaxed and it was beautiful, beautiful beaches, pink sand beaches, and all those nice things. But after I was there for a while, I just said to myself, it's not that I got tired of the vacation. It's not that, because I got to spend 24/7 with my daughters and my wife, and I love to be able to do that because that's their time, and it's away from work and it's with them. But at the same time, I said, you know what? And I was giving gratitude the whole time, literally saying it over and over, and it's because I didn't need it, and I don't think my family needed it either. Like it's something that I've worked incredibly hard for. Obviously, my wife as well with our family, and maybe they did need it. That's the truth. Maybe it's just me who didn't. But I was saying that, that I didn't need to escape from my everyday life. And if you can get there, every day is not perfect. Trust me, I know that. I'm there as well. But it's an amazing thing. So wanted to share this book for you. If you've been kind of contemplating those things, then I would check this out. It's everything from mindset to health to routines to partnerships and really, really great stuff. So Replace Retirement, John D. Anderson, will link it up, of course. All the links and all the research that I'm getting to right now will be at stephencabral.com/2618. That includes the Cleerly Heart Scan as well. All right, here's a great one. Again, I can't recommend walking enough. I was at that longevity conference, and they said, even if you don't exercise, even if you don't do this, even if you don't do that, you need to walk. Walk briskly for about a total of 7,500 to 10,000 steps per day. That's what most people recommend. That's what the research shares. And your chances for reducing all-cause mortality are enormous. They go down by 30-something%. We've just got another study. I mean, more and more. This one's out of JAMA Neurology, the Journal of JAMA Neurology. It's done by almost 79,000 people. This was done out of Denmark. I'll link it up. This is what it says. You can lower dementia. So again, like if you want to live a long, healthy life, that's what I want for you as well. But you also don't want to get Alzheimer's or dementia. And so this one was specific to dementia. Those who walked 3,800 steps daily for almost 3 years had a 25% lower risk of dementia. It's only 3,800 steps. And that's like almost nothing. The average that I found in my practice is about 3,500. So it's literally just being on your feet for about 40 minutes a day. Not even going for a walk, just on your feet for 40 minutes a day. But again, as people get older, they're not on their feet for that long. So I get it, and I'm glad that the study did that. Because you need to have circulation, you need to have movement. All these things are important. But those that did 9,800 steps per day, obviously it's an average, right? That's how they got that number 9,800. They didn't say, hey, shoot for 9,800. They had 50% lower risk. Unbelievable. 50% lower risk of dementia by just walking. Just by walking. So that included about 30 minutes a day at 112 steps per minute, about 3 miles per hour. So 3 miles per hour is just a normal walk. It's not a slow walk. It's not a fast walk, but it's just a normal, just a brisk walk, just a good walk. 62% if you did a little bit faster, so that faster pace, 62% less likely to be diagnosed with dementia. It's unbelievable. 30 minutes, that's it. A little brisk walk. I'm telling you right now, it's unbelievable. Walking. Good food, all the things that we've been talking about, right? The de-stress protocol. That is what's going to keep you healthy. And you don't have to have the fear of aging, the fear of becoming sick. All right, let's do another workout one, and we'll save the should you brush your teeth before or after breakfast for next week. Why don't we do that? That'll be a fun one. So let's stick with the exercise topic. So morning exercise is best for your heart. Physical activity in the morning was associated with a 16% lower risk for coronary artery disease and a 17% reduction in stroke risk versus the risk of people exercising later in the day. This was done on almost 87,000 people, and it was done in the Netherlands, and it published in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology. So a couple of things about this study, just want to share with you just a little bit more in depth. People who exercise first thing in the morning, not in the morning, but first thing in the morning at a higher intensity with pre-existing heart issues, it actually may be worse. There's more heart attacks in the morning, more stress on the heart from a higher production of cortisol. Now, if you do, again, these preventative measures and your heart looks clean and everything looks good and you have normal cortisol, you've run the stress, mood, and metabolism test, then there's probably not an issue, right? But if you down a couple of cups of black coffee or coffee and then you start doing sprints, again, this is probably not going to happen in your 30s and 40s, but we have to be careful late 50s, 60s, and beyond. So I just want to share that with you. But morning exercise, why? Most likely it just mimics the natural rhythm of stress hormone production, right? So now, having said that, I exercise in the afternoon, just to let you know that. Maybe I'll change that when I'm in my 60s or 70s. Maybe we'll see. I do my walk in the morning, and then I do my exercise later in the day. So it has to work with you and your body as well. But what I'll share with you is this, is that when you are exercising, not first thing in the morning, but a little bit earlier in the day, you have what's called a natural circadian rhythm. So there's more cortisol produced between 6 a.m. and certainly up to 10 a.m., 11 a.m., before it starts to really decline after that. So if you're doing a hard workout in the afternoon, well, you're getting a second surge of cortisol that you just may want to be aware of. And so that's important to look at that. The workouts that I do are not really HIIT-based training. They're more metabolic conditioning, strength training, EWOT, cardio, those types of things as well. So just, again, wanted to share that with you, but I agree with it, and I'm not against it. And if you're just saying, hey, I can exercise any time of the day, I'm in my mid-50s or beyond when heart attacks can really start to take place, what should I do? What time of the day? Probably mid-morning, probably just later, somewhere around, let's say, 9, 10 through noon, right? So that would be not first thing in the morning when you wake up, but just get the body moving a little bit, not pushing first thing when you wake up. Now, again, you can push first thing you wake up. I want to share that. If you're younger and your goal is body transformation, weight loss, etc. All right, so again, there's always caveats. I believe in bio-individuality, but I did want to share that with you because I do agree with it for the most part. So hopefully today's show was helpful. I'll link up all the research, all the recommendations, and much more at stephencabral.com/2618. Have an amazing weekend. I'll be back tomorrow with our Cabral House Calls answering our community's questions. Take care. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.